Hello, my name is Madeline, and welcome to this yin yoga practice for connecting with your inner child. So, today's practice will be a full body practice, and I encourage you to invite in an energy of play, an energy of joy, and try to embody that childlike spirit with this practice. And you don't need any props. If you like to use them, feel free to grab them, but they're not necessary for today's class. So let's just get started with 3 deep breaths to ground into the space. So taking an inhale through the nose and a sigh out the mouth. Take another inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. Take one last deep inhale, make it really big. And then long exhale out the mouth. And we'll get started with a tiny bit of movement, and we'll do some seated cat-cows. So bring your hands to your knees, and then as you inhale, begin to arch the spine forward, looking up, and then rounding the back as you exhale. And then from here, feel free to take any kind of fluid movement that feels good. Really just listen to your body here. Maybe try to have some fun with the movement. And then whenever you're ready, no rush at all, return back to center. And we'll get into our first yin pose, which will fittingly be a child's pose. So you can come to face the top of the mat, bring those knees wide on the mat, and then start to press back onto those heels and crawl those hands forward. And letting the forehead rest on the mat. And maybe here, think of some childlike element that maybe you've lost and that you want to reconnect with in your present life. And make that an intention for today's practice. And remembering to breathe deeply into this child's pose. And let's take a few more breaths here. And take one more deep breath. And slowly start to roll roll back up, taking your time, and then press forward onto your hands and knees for a tabletop position. And from here, again, take any kind of movement that feels good in your body. Maybe some cat-cows, maybe some circles in the body. Again, try to tap into that element of play. Really listen to your intuition throughout class. You don't have to do exactly what I'm saying. And whenever you're finished with your movement, return back to tabletop position, and then we'll make our way down onto our bellies. So preparing for a half frog pose. So here you can stack the hands on top of one another and let the forehead rest on those hands. And then from here, slowly begin to draw that right knee up in line with the right hip. And then try to form a right angle in that right shin. Option, if you have a blanket here, to place it underneath the right knee for some padding. So really nice hip opening here. And just let yourself melt into the pose. And let's take one more deep breath here. And then really slowly start to draw that right leg back in line with the left. Returning to center. And then maybe just shaking your hips a couple times, side to side. And then return to stillness whenever you're ready. And we'll make our way into that half frog on the left side. So this time, try to slide that left knee up in line with the left hip, and then aim to have that left shin in a right angle. Again, option to place a blanket underneath the left knee for some padding. And then let your body sink into the mat. So you want to feel a nice hip opening here. And let's take one more deep breath. And then slowly start to slide that left leg back in line with the right. And this time, maybe you want to take some windshield wipers with those legs, just rocking the legs from side to side, letting your body feel loose and soft. Return back to center, and we'll slowly press back up onto our hands. Feel free to take any movement on your way there. And whenever you're ready, we'll come to me in a seat with our legs stretched out in front of us. So preparing for a caterpillar pose. And in this caterpillar pose, I encourage you to bend those knees a lot. But if you would prefer a deeper stretch in the hamstrings, then maybe you want to stretch them out long. So from here, whenever you're ready, reach those arms up to the sky and then start to fold forward over those knees. And let the head drop in between the knees. So really let the spine soften, let the head drop, let the back round. And then breathe deeply. Really great stretch for the whole back body. So the more you bend your knees, the more of a lower back release it will be. The straighter your legs are, the more of a hamstring stretch you'll have. So just finding what your body is needing today. remembering your deep breathing. Let's take a few more breaths in your caterpillar. And take one more deep breath. And then start to slowly crawl back up, taking your time. Maybe place those hands behind you. Just go for a couple more windshield wipers, rocking those knees from side to side. And returning back to center, and we'll roll down onto our backs. So no rush getting here at all. And once you're there, maybe hug those knees into the chest, and then slowly rock from side to side. And whenever you're ready, return back to stillness, and we'll make our way into a reclining pigeon, or also known as a cradle pose. So we'll bring those feet down onto the mat, and then we'll take that right ankle and place it on top of the left thigh. Then begin to pull that left thigh into the chest. And from here, you can either clasp the hands behind the left thigh or in front of the left shin. Just listening to whatever feels best in your body. So really nice hip stretch for that right hip. And again, just try to let the body soften. Coming back to an element that you'd like to bring into your present day that maybe you used to feel when you were a child. And let's take one more deep breath here. And then slowly let that go, drawing the left foot down to the mat. And then maybe stretch those legs out long, just letting them shake a little bit to release those legs. And then draw those knees back to center, and we'll prepare for the other side. So this time, taking the left ankle and placing it on top of that right thigh, an option to clasp the hands behind that right thigh or in front of the right shin. And knowing that each side can be super different. So just noticing the difference between sides and listening to what feels best in your body. And remembering your deep breaths here. And let's take a few more breaths in your reclining pigeon. And take one more deep breath here. And then slowly start to let it go, letting the right foot drop down to the mat, releasing the left leg. And here, maybe rocking those legs from side to side. Maybe you want to stretch the arms up above you. Just slowly letting that spine release. Really just get fluid with your movement here. Maybe rocking onto one hip and then the other. And then slowly return back to center. Release those arms if they were up above your head. And we'll now make our way into a happy baby pose. So drawing those feet up to the sky, and then grab hold of the outsides of those feet and just let those knees drop down to the earth. You can take a little bit of movement here for your first couple breaths. And then whenever you're ready, start to settle into some stillness. Taking those deep breaths. This one can be a little intense. And let's take one more deep breath here. And then slowly, really gently start to draw those knees back together. And maybe you want to rock a couple times side to side on the mat. From here, just take any kind of fluid movement that feels good in your body, any poses you're needing before we move into Shavasana. So whenever you're ready, no rush at all, begin to stretch those legs out long. Let the arms drape out wide to the sides. And just surrender into the mat. Noticing the effects of this practice. And if you have the time, I encourage you to stay in this Shavasana as long as you like. But if you have to get going, this is where we'll close class. We'll close with one deep breath. So exhale all the air out now. Take a deep inhale through the nose and a long sigh out the mouth. And thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you're feeling a bit lighter, a bit more open. And if you'd like to see more Yin Yoga videos like this, please subscribe to my channel and let me know how this went in the comments below. And I'll see you again next time.